Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I was like, oh my goodness, y'all have my heart fluttering. Thank y'all so much for having me here. Yes, those are all the accomplishments that I have been able to achieve since I started with Globe Life. I wanted to tell y'all a little bit about how I got started first and foremost, but I want to give thanks to my husband because all of this could not be possible if I did not have a supportive husband like I do. I've been married to Frederick Ellis for almost 29 years. It'll be 29 years in December the 8th. We'll be 29 years. We have a 27-year-old. She turned 27 Monday on Labor Day. So Miranda Ellis. And so those are my two support systems that really supports me, push me forward. And I love what I do with Globe Life. Brandy will tell you when I see Chad or anyone in the business, it's always just important to just try to uplift one another because the business can be challenging. But how I started is Bill Hayes. I was working for another insurance company. I've been in insurance for 12 years total prior to coming to Globe Life for my 5 years. But I started with Aflac. And I started with Aflac. I enjoy what I did, but Aflac is not Globe Life. And so I was looking for something different. I was working in an area in Texas, and I met Bill Hayes. And that's why you always have to be humble. You never know who you're going to run into. And so I was a supervisor at my prior insurance agency, and Bill Hayes was visiting a place that I was. And so I gave him his respect because he was there first. And when I went in there, he invited me in because he was delivering a money back check. Well, he was giving a family money, and I was there trying to take their money. That's our joke. But we were, and he was trying to recruit me. Of course, I'm a recruiter, so I was trying to recruit him, not knowing that he was the agency owner of a division because he didn't act like it. He was just himself. And so we laughed, we talked. I gave him my number, we exchanged numbers rather, and he kept calling me. It took him 3 months before I actually talked to him. And what it ended up happening, my family had my auntie died. And so we had had a death in the family. I went to the funeral, and then my best friend uncle had passed. And when that had happened, I ended up in Little Rock, Arkansas. When I ended up in Little Rock, that's where Bill was from. His um, his agent that had been with him over 20 years, daughter was there. And she asked me, what did I do? We were just talking, and she had let me know. And then I had all those text messages from Bill, and I felt so crazy because I was like, 20, he's been there over 20 years. That's longevity. So something has to be good there, for him to have been there all that time. And so I called Bill back and I said, you know what? I want to go ahead and have an interview just to see what the company is about and to go from there. Well, I did. I still didn't go in right away. And just like Brandy said, I pray. I sleep with the church channel on all the time because I just like mental, just God to talk to me in any area of my life. And I talk to him. And so I woke up one night and the church channel said, God, keep opening a door that you won't walk through. And when that came on, and I woke my husband up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I said, I'm just going to do it and we'll just see, what happened. And this is 5 years later. And so I'm so grateful. And I thank God every day for Bill being, 2 hours one direction. And then I ended up meeting one of his agents 2 hours the opposite direction. So to me, that was my sign that it was time to make a change. And so that's how I got into the Globe Life industry. And I thank God for it every day. So if you're here for a reason. And not only are you here for a reason, if you're here, then you have the opportunity not only to protect families with the awesome products that we have, but provide them with a financial freedom if something was to happen, or if they didn't. What's the worst part of it? They're gonna get their money back. So what other company is gonna do what we do? And so I think, like I said, I thank God for that. But enough about me. and to get into what we started. And if you have any questions, I'm here for any questions. I'm just going to tell y'all what I do on a regular basis, why achieving goals are so important to me, and what I expect from my agents, and why I try to push them to try to achieve the same goals. And Cal, Brandy, if y'all have any other questions or want me to chime in on anything else, just please feel free to let me know. Now, what's important to me, first and foremost, is being a student of the business. Just when you come into the business, sales school, they teach you different things, but you have to be able to implement everything that they taught you into your day to day. So you have to be that student of the business, knowing your approaches, knowing your rebuttals, knowing your close. It's important to make them your own. So once you know it, you can put your personality into it. You know, my personality is I love people. So it's okay because I want to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. And that's just not only being a student of the business, know other people products. That's important to me because when I'm sitting down with someone and they're telling me about Aflac, or they're telling me about Colonial, or they're telling me about um, combined insurance or different companies, then I pretty much already know what it is that they had. So I can pretty much talk to them about why ours is so important. Um, just perfecting your approaches, perfecting your close, your rebuttals. Um, do y'all make sure we give everyone a certificate if they come out of sales school and they know their approaches, they get a certificate of completion. If they know their rebuttals, they get a certificate of completion in their close. So those are certificates that they can have for accomplishment of something that they have done. So now that they can go out there and they can do it themselves. Tracking themselves is so important. The daily goal card is one of the things that I have mine in the beginning, take a picture and send it to me every night because the 36 and 1 is so important. That's what we call it, making sure you have talk to at least 30 people, 6 demos, 1 sale, but also working the 9 hours. I know a lot of people say the 2 out of 3 and hours is pretty much the 3 out of 4, because you have to make sure that you're out there. And not only are you out there, that you're getting out the car, because that's the hardest thing about being in the industry that we're in. We can be out there and we can be working, but are we really working is the question. Because if we're not getting out the car, if we're not approaching people, then we're not actually working. And then plan, are you planning to fail? Um, I have a 4 week, the calendars that they have online, but Bill has one to start on Sundays because we prepare on Sunday for the rest of our week to make sure that we have a pretty good week. And when you're preparing for your week, you have to have something on your schedule. So I have 4 weeks of printed out schedules for my team, and that's not just the planner, because it's so much if you're in the field and someone tell you to come back in 2 weeks to try to get that planner out and try to figure out your planner. So I have them a 4 week schedule already stapled together for them to have. So if you tell me to come back in 2 weeks, then I already have that to where it's so simple I can get to it, or I have it on my goal card to make sure, because the last thing you want to do is miss an appointment. And so the goal cards goes along with right now field directing. And Brandon, I know field recruiting, I'm sorry, I know that was important because field recruiting is one of the biggest things. If you're trying to grow your business, or if you're trying to go into field director, market director, regional director, you have to have people. You can only see so many people in a day. And so with you only being able to see so many people in a day, you have to be able to duplicate yourself. And not only do you want to duplicate yourself with one person, you have to be able to continue to talk to people on a day-to-day basis. So that's really big for me. If I'm out in the field, whether I'm training, whether I'm out there working with myself, I try not to be by myself, but if I am, then I'm still working. I'm still out there and I have to talk to people. Do you want me to stop, Cal? Is there anything you want to say before I keep going, or just
keep going? This is awesome.
Okay. And when I'm out there field recruiting, on the back of my business cards, I have, and Cal, you may have seen this before, I'm looking for a particular type person, one who will take personal interest in my local business. If you're willing to work follow instructions, and can live on an average of 3,000 per month until your skills improve. I will train you well, pay you well, and provide advancement limited only to your own ability. And it's on there say we offer 60 to 80,000 your first year with cash bonuses, incentive stocks, company trips, and so on. And it has my phone number on the back of there. So I have that when I'm out and I'm talking to people because they have my business card on the front, but they have what I'm looking for. And when I'm out there and I'm talking to people, we want that perfect person because a lot of times you're not going to be that person that can sit behind the desk and call everyone on ZipRecruiter or any recruiting website. You're not going to be able to be inside to make those calls. And that's where it was hard for me because I'm out training all the time. And so if I'm out training all the time, I have to use my time wisely. And so with that being said, if I'm recruiting, I have to recruit where I am. And so whether you're in a restaurant, whether you're at a ball game, wherever you are, people are always talking and asking, what do we do? So why not put that in? That's just like around family. We'll say, well, we don't want to be that insurance person all the time to say that I'm an insurance agent. Let me tell you about what we do. Because we have family members, my relative just passed 40 years old of a heart attack. 40 years old, a heart attack. We just buried him 2 weeks ago. And, with that being said, I didn't offer him that policy, which he lived, a couple of hours away from me, but it's a phone call away. It's a phone call away to just say, this is what I do. I didn't really think about it. And that has, eaten me up ever since because I'm like, what could I have done different? And so we want to make sure that we reach out to all our family, all our friends, whether they take it or not, that's up to them, but still be able to offer it. That's just like the opportunity. We have sharp people in our family. We have people that can do this in our family. We have, we make an unlimited amount of income. Why not offer that to someone in your family, in your circle, your friends, but also when you're out working? That's something that always should be in the front of your mind because that's building your brand, building your business. Y'all have any questions so far?
This is awesome, Demetria. I've got tons of good notes already so far. I got just a couple, one or two questions.
Yeah.
You've been here for about 5 years. What did your
Yes.
schedule look like when you first started this business, when you're just, you're out in the field every single day? And what does your schedule kind of look like now, about 5 years into the business?
Okay, well, now being that I'm training quite often, I have people on my schedule, so I'm out with them and I'll still put what city I'm in, what I have, but I still have people that I put on my schedule, Cal, just like you, because it amazes me that, like, just what you said earlier, I'm going to be with this person, this week, that's important. That's very important. And then to see that you still do that, I watch your numbers as well. I say, man, even agency owner, and you're still out there in the field and you're kicking butt at it, and you have a whole big, I know to-do list, but my schedule is always full. I'm always going to have something on there. You're never going to see a blank page. And it's so crazy because they make jokes. Some are other agents and field directors, market directors talk about my schedule because it's kind of messy because it's something always on there. If you just have a schedule and you have a blank schedule, that's not being productive. But my schedule has the people that I'm working with that week. I'm always out in the field. I try to do my early morning, Cal, before 9 o'clock. I've tried to do whatever business emails, try to go ahead and take care of any emails that I have, but in the field, I'm always out the house by 9 o'clock. Now it depends on certain Mondays. If I have quite a bit that needs to be taken care of, I'll have Monday scheduled to be like my office day, but every other day of the week I'm in the field. Pretty much some nights they laugh because some nights it's 9, 10 o'clock and I'm still out. That's even as a market director. I do what I need to do right now. And my agents know that I'm going to be there for them. If they need me, I'm there. So we at the Hayes Agency, I know y'all do predominantly businesses, but we do both. Now, me, I'm out there mostly doing businesses. I do the cities. I have quite a few cities, fire department, not fire departments, Brandy. That's what we talked about. Brandy's talked to me about getting in the fire. I'm like, yes, let's get, let's get there. But I have the police departments. I have mostly doctors' offices and different things like that. But my schedule stays full, and I either have a different agent on there. Now, when I first started, it was just getting people on my schedule. And so that's what I was more concerned about. But my schedule stayed full. And that's just like I had started. That's what I started for myself, that 4 weeks plan, because if someone tell me that they needed to see me that prior week, then I want to be available for them. And so I always have something written down to start me for the next week. Now, as you go into directing, then it's going to change because you're going to have people, you're going to have, but you have to make time. That's even if I have a doctor's appointment, it's on my schedule. You know, if I have something else that I have to do, I have to put that within my schedule. And so that's what I tell them, because you don't want to just cut out of work, because that's just like when you working for a 9 to 5, you have to be there. Therefore, you have to ask for permission, right? To be able to go to your doctor's appointment, or you have to schedule a day off. Well, this is your business. You have to do the same thing with your business.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Miss Ellis. I'm going to leave it open to the crowd. Any questions or comments for Miss Demetria?
I want to tell you, Cal, if no one has, incentives is so important. The company is always um, throwing out different incentives, whether it's monthly cash bonus, whether it's the trips, those are so important. Always push yourself to reach whatever incentive that is put forward. The only thing you can do is what? Make more money. So, all you have to do, but make sure that you push yourself for that incentive. That's just like I dare you. My team, it wasn't easy, a double I dare you, because not only am I training, but I had to make sure my numbers were there as well. And so making sure that your numbers is there as well, you have to have a plan. You have to have a schedule outside the schedule and the plans that you have to be with other people if you're a field director or market director. But I just would not give up. So I have to do what I have to do in order to make sure that I achieve my goals. And so, yes, we have Monday through Friday if that's what you want to work, a Monday through Friday shift if that's your schedule, but make sure that you hit your goals within that schedule. If you don't hit your goals within that schedule, then you're going to have to do some Saturdays. I've even done some. I'm a church goer myself, so I'm that's almost. I'm gonna make sure I go to church. But if I have a goal set and I haven't achieved my goal, and I know that I have incentive or just my goal myself, it doesn't have to be about the incentives that they put forward. It could be about the goal you set for yourself. Because I have goal board. I see it. It's in front of me. That's just like going out. That's important. And you need to push as hard as you can to achieve those goals, not just for yourself, but if you're trying to develop a team, you have to be able to keep those goals in front of you and make sure that you're achieving something that you are asking someone else to achieve. I'm not going to ask any of my agents to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. We're out there, we're working hard, but we're working hard together. It's a team effort. Anything that we can do, that they can do. And I can tell we laugh because I can tell them, if you beat me, you're not going to beat me from the lack of me trying, or if you beat me, it's because I let you beat me because I stopped trying. You see what I'm saying? So that's, that's how that goes. But if you put forth the effort, this career could just be something that you never even dreamed of. It can just go as far as you want it to go. But if it's to be, it is up to me. And so that's what I tell my team. If it's to be, it's up to you. I can want it for you, but I can't do it for you. So this is something that you have to push for yourself. And it's so important to do. If you're in something, this is your business. If you're going to give a 9 to 5, 110%, why not give your business that same 110%? You have to be able to get out there and push and make it happen, not just for yourself, but for your team and vice versa. They're going to do for you when they see you're doing for them. I promise you they will.
this is fire content, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you're writing all this down because this is game changing stuff. Like what you just said, right? Oh my gosh, goal setting, having tracking it not just for your personal
Mhm.
sales but your team sales, and just getting really competitive and knowing where you are and just being obsessed with that, and and telling your team that I'm not going to tell you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. That's
Mhm.
awesome. You're leading from the front. One last just little question that I have for you, Demetria, is for any, all the new, we have probably about 25 newer agents on this call right now, who are
Mhm.
within their first 6 months. Do you have any advice for
Mhm.
somebody within their first 6 months just to guarantee themselves a very good first year in the business?
Yes, I would say, and that was just like the beginning because I didn't know if you had new people or if these were vets. I didn't veterans. I didn't know. But really, being a student of the business is so important. That sales handbook is a game changer. It has so many things in that sales handbook. Go in there and read them. Being a field director, going up in the business. If you just want to just be a sales professional, hey, that's cool. But just be the best sales professional you can be by knowing the business, know your products. It's so important. Know what a cancer policy consists of, know what a heart attack stroke policy consists of, know what the accident, all of them, know what they consist of. Have pride in what you're offering and allow, because see, when you believe in something, it shows. Believe in your product, but if you can't believe in something if you don't know what you're offering. So make sure that you know what you're selling. Make sure that you know. I hate to even say the word selling, but what you're covering someone for. Just know the product, know your approaches, whether it's business approach or C2C, whatever it is, but know it. Know your rebuttals, because if you don't know how to come back after they give you that rebuttal, then that's the chance that you're going to either make it or by chance or by the luck, or you're going to be able to convince someone why it's important for them to have. And so know those rebuttals. Just be a student of the business, and not only that, challenge yourself. Put your goals in front of you. Not only your goals, but your whys. You want to make sure that you know why you're still in this business. Why did you come to this business? Are you here because of your family? Are you here for financial freedom? What are you here for? Know that, but put it in front of you. And so if you have that in front of you every day, then whether it's to be get out of financial debt, whatever your why is, have it in front of you. And so every day that you don't want to go out there, that you don't want to push yourself, then you have that in front of you to remind you that's why you need to get up and go out there and do it. They have so many incentives, your fast start. That's so important. It's so important for me, for my team to get it. I want you to have it in the first week, if you can, by the second week. That's something that's important that you need to have. But they give you 4 weeks. So if nothing else, you're going to do a builder's week every week, if nothing else. But don't try to go lower than that. Just being in the field, don't just do that, because that's really not acceptable when you're just being in the field, because you're just really just tagging along. If you're going to give something, give 110%. Go out there and give it your all. And I promise you, if you give it your all, it's going to work out for you. I tell people all the time when they say, oh, is this commission based? Well, the thing about it is, yes, it's a commission based business, but I've never missed a meal. Never. Because I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make it happen. And like I tell everybody, my favorite saying, you can ask my, if it's to be, it's up to me. I can do it. And that's what you have to tell yourself every day. If you get into a rut where it's hard, because sometimes it is, and you don't know, how you're going to push yourself forward, how to get out of it, you either call somebody, you put on some motivational, uh, whether it's a motivational video, whether it's music, whatever it is to get you out of that, but you have to. I say you can go there, and I'll tell my team, you can go there, you just can't stay there. That's the thing. Yeah, we can have our pity parties, but we have it for that few minutes and then we get ourselves out of it. So if it's to be, it's up to you. But if you give it your all, I promise you, this career is life changing. When I tell you, when they say it's the greatest opportunity in America, and when you really give it your all, you're going to see why it's the greatest opportunity in America. You're going to see. And I just tell y'all, just do your best, but don't give up. And if you need help, I can even give you my number, because Brenda will tell you, I will, hey, I will try my best to encourage you any way that I can. Whatever situation you're in, I'm gonna talk to you about it. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna talk, we're gonna pray if we need to be to do, and then we're gonna go to work. So that's what we do. But you can do it. I promise you. I did it. You can do it. And if you give it your all and put your heart into it, because it is your business. Cal can't want it for you as much as you want it for yourself. Brandy can't, but when you look at your family every day, that should be your motivation to get out there and do it.
Holy smokes. This is awesome, Demetria. What is we've got 8:32. We're going to go ahead and just start wrapping this up. I'm going to do a quick recap, just some of the notes I got. First recap, it was awesome. I didn't even know that you got introduced to the business from him delivering return a premium check to a client, and you were there. Like, that's awesome. Like, I had no idea that was used to live in Texas, and she worked with Aflac before this. So, guys, obviously, to go from that to this, and so that's really cool. She lives in Arkansas. And number one is just, knowing your sales conversation like the back of your hand, and, making sure that that. That is crucial to be successful in this business, and not just knowing your sales conversation, but knowing about the competitors' products that you talked about is very like Aflac Colonial combined, really being a student of the game and just investing in yourself to know what the other policies are, because that's very important, especially when you're comparing apples to apples with clients with what they currently have. Number two is just whenever you have your rebuttals known, you guys have a certificate of completion. So you guys it sounds like you just go very hardcore in your agency about knowing your rebuttals and knowing your approaches, making sure that's like non-negotiable. We kind of do something a little similar to that. We have a sales talk review with somebody before they go to sales school, but it's not that exact same thing, but I do like that, having a certificate of completion of knowing your approaches, knowing your rebuttals. Using your goal card, that was number three biggest takeaway, and just using it. Like, that shows that you're actually working during the day. Not you're just saying you're working 9 to 5, but you're actually working when you can track the data that you're doing, your hours, your demos, your contacts, families, protected referrals. You can keep it all on the demo goal card, and that just you're training people to work those 2-hour time periods, which is very important. Planning your week, and you plan your week on Sunday, it sounds like. So that's all. We kind of do the same thing. We plan, and the people that plan their weeks are always more efficient, especially on Mondays. And they have a much bigger Monday. People that actually plan their week are way more efficient than people that just wing it. So I'm so glad that you talked about that, and just really you print off the schedules for your team. So when they submit their game plan to you, you print it off so you know it as well. Like, that's super professional, and I love that. Field recruiting, you have it on the back of your business card, what you're looking for in a particular recruit. That was awesome. And not being scared to share this with people in your inner circle, friends and family, sharp people that you meet out there in the field, and also your personal network. That is, doing your business with like-minded people, people like us. And number 6 was feel free to protect your loved ones, because you never want to have somebody that's close to you that passes away from cancer or heart disease, and you just never showed it to them for whatever reason. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Don't feel ashamed to share this with everybody that If they get it, great. If not, it's no big deal. That'll be on them. But at least giving them the opportunity to get themselves protected. And goal setting. You're very big. You've mentioned this a few times about goal setting, putting your goals in front of you. It's so important, especially this time of year, because Q4 starts in like a week and a half. And just, we're coming up at the end of Q3, and having your goals in front of you so you can finish Q3 strong and then crush it here in Q4. Because we do a goal setting session for that, and just having those in front of you all the time and knowing your why, always knowing your why. It could be getting out of financial debt. It could be, for your family. It could be anything, but just having that why and digging into your why and why it's important and why you're doing this on a daily basis. And knowing the incentives is part of your goal setting as well, because you got to know where you're sitting at for certain goals, like I dare you, just the monthly cash bonuses and a quick start, the whole 9 yards. And that way it will help raise your game. If you got to go out and work on a Saturday, you're going to do it just because you want to get that extra incentive bonus, right? And then last thing is just, it's okay. Like, if you're ever in a situation where you're in a pity party, just know that if it is to be, it's up to me. And if you go to a pity party, that's okay, but you can't stay there. I loved it when you said that. And you got to tell yourself every day that you can do it. And we can do push-ups with you, but we can't do them for you. I love that. That was awesome. Guys, any other last questions or comments for Miss Demetria before we wrap up?
I just want to say thank you, and I'll be on your call tomorrow morning.
Yes, thank you. And Cal, I want to say one more thing. I do have a quarterly um tracker every quarter, and it's not something that someone makes for me. It's something that I do for myself, not only for my team, but for me as an individual, for my production. So every week, when Tuesday morning, with those, well, really for me, Monday morning, when those numbers come out, every week, I post that on my tracker, so I know where I am every quarter. So if it's a goal that I'm trying to achieve, whether it's for my team or whether it's for me individually, I have what we make, what we've written that week. I also have how many submits we've had. So at the end of the quarter, I'm not surprised. I don't want to know, why, dang, I need $50,000, but this is what I need to do to get it. I already know that coming down. So every week in a quarter, I have that written down. So that's something as well for not only the supervisors to make sure that they track themselves, but for individuals to track themselves so they'll know whether they want to have a 60,000, 90,000, quarter, 100,000 plus quarter, they can do that. And they're tracking themselves with that.
That's
But
awesome.
that's it. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Being a true professional, Demetria. I really do appreciate your time. And guys, it is 7 a.m. her time because she's in an hour different. She's in Central Time Zone. So thank you, Demetria. Let's give Miss Demetria a big hand, round of applause.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day. Thank you, Brandy.
You're welcome. Have a good day.